Hello everyone and welcome to GreedFall.
Could you stand a little taller, just a tad?
Like this?
Yes. The chin a tiny bit lower. Gaze a little more to the right. There! Now, hold the pose.
Alright, well, presets, whatever. So this is a game by Spiders. They are a smaller studio. They've made a couple games in the past. As far as ones that I can remember offhand, the Technomancer I think was one of theirs. Regardless, this is a game that I have been hearing quite a lot about recently. It is apparently a cross between the likes of Dragon Age, Inquisition, Fable 2, and The Witcher 3. So it's not that what's the way to say it? It's got very big shoes to fill, if that's what people are saying. This is a game that resembles those three. That said, huge thanks to Spiders and Fullscreen for sending me a copy of the game. It's been something I've had for a little while and have not had the opportunity to actually start. So yeah, good enough. So I know very little about the game. The big things that I know are that you've got an amazing skill tree, and it gets pretty in-depth. There are three main skills, starting classes: Warrior, Technical, and Magic. But that doesn't shoehorn you into a particular route. You can go wherever you want to be, and as it says, the skill tree is open. You'll be able to unlock the skills of other archetypes as you progress. So it's got a lot going for it. As far as what we want to start with, we could start with primary focus on melee combat, so we could do that. One-handed heavy weapons, one-handed blades, firearms, recommended attributes and talents. That said, there are not only skills, but attributes and talents as well, so the system gets pretty complicated pretty quickly. Technical, so traps, firearms, one-handed blades. I think we're going to go for magic, purely because I want to go and see if I can do a muscle mage, because one-handed heavy weapons and magic, I mean, it's calling to me. Can you blame me? So now we just need to acquire an attribute. So we can acquire strength, we can go endurance, accuracy, agility, mental power, or willpower. These are what affects magic. Strength is melee combat. Firearms and technical, again, melee combat. So specifically fury generation, not quite sure how that works. This attribute is required to wield one-handed and two-handed swords. And then just health. So we have 1 point that we can spend. So willpower affects MP and spell duration, and mental power is just damage. I mean, do I want to go spell sword, or do I want to go muscle mage? That's really the big question. We'll start with just magic for the time being. And now we're in our talents, so we've got charisma, science, lockpicking, intuition, craftsmanship, and vigor. So charisma, bartering and whatnot, potions and whatnot, pick locks. Increases maximum ammo capacity and lets you slightly recover health and magic outside combat. That's clearly what we have to go with.
just a few more minutes. You have such an incredibly singular face. That's a compliment, my lord, out of my mouth. Your particularity gives you character.
You're still here?
We've nearly finished. Have you any more need of me, Master?
You haven't forgotten that we're setting sail today, have you?
Of course not.
Your cousin is nowhere to be found. I've searched the palace from cellars to attics. Your uncle is beside himself.
He was of a mind to paint the town last night. Don't worry, I shall track him down. Make care to your own preparations without wrinkling another frown. We'll meet you on the boat.
It's about time your cousin took account of the responsibilities awaiting him. He should go and inform the ambassadors of Teleme and the Bridge Alliance of his departure.
Have no fear, Master. I will go and see them in his name.
Yeah, the talking and the syncing of the speech with the mouth, kind of not really great.
Impossible,
Not
my
terrible.
lord. You are leaving with the tide, if what I've been told is correct.
I am sorry, sir. Truly, I must be going.
My lord, please, I beg you. Her Highness has personally requested I finish.
Oh, thank you, cousin, for getting me out of that.
Alright. Sorry about that. I was adjusting the volume on my monitor. So the game does not look half bad. So we can crouch. We can run. Tactical pause. Change weapon. And what's right trigger do? Ah. Right trigger puts it away. Got it. Cool. Whoop. We started something.
Green blood.
Cut.
And so the day has finally come. My royal fledglings are leaving the nest.
Accompanied by their most loyal and tenacious master of arms.
As loyal as you'll go.
Enough with the cold mercenary. I know you like us. Still hiding your men in the unsuspecting shadows of the greats of this world, I see.
Hey, our blades are the only thing keeping you dainties alive.
Probably put the volume up on my headset a little too much. Let me just fix that, sorry.
I'm no longer a child, you know.
Is that so? Well, let's see. Fight with honor!
Okay, combat tutorial, I guess, is what we're going on with now. Ooh. Okay. So X for the main attack, Y for a secondary. Oh, that's fun. Okay. A dodge and magic parry. Got it. Fancy. Okay, so tactical pause lets me pause in combat. Okay.
You defend yourself well, Green.
It's relatively easy to get the hang of, actually.
Proper master of arms.
The best.
You already training for your new post of legate? Don't tire yourself. Flattery'll get you nowhere. But for the fight, you have remembered your basics. Your performance just got you out of a final lesson. Unless you want to go through the paces again before we depart.
Why not? We probably
I
should.
would be up for that. A little last-minute training couldn't hurt.
In that case, Otto here is going to be your training partner.
Just in case there's any odds and ends, you know, that we really should see some intricacies. So you can use shadow and light magic during your adventure. The stasis spell, we have a stasis spell, that's good to know. Allows you to temporarily freeze an enemy. Do we get any groundness? You know, some ice magic-y shenanigans? Please? Can we use stasis on a rock and jump on top? No? Okay, so we can bind them. That's interesting. Physical armor level is shown with shields on the health bar. Armor absorbs part of the physical damage. To break an enemy's armor, you can use an impact weapon or certain traps. Magic attacks ignore armor. Cool. Magic seems like it might be kind of overpowered. I'm just going to throw that out there. Fury is a state that allows you to use special attacks that inflict bonus damage and make enemies lose their balance. A segmented meter segmented meter that fills up as you attack your enemy. Cast a spell. Parry attacks from enemies will let you blah 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 blah. Left trigger. Oh, is that it?
It appears
Moving in
we've
combat's a
rushed
little
our
awkward.
basics.
It does, and I'd like to be on my way. I've quite the list of things to do before we depart.
Indeed. Remember that you can always train in our barracks on the island if you're feeling rusty.
Are your bags packed for the great departure?
Yes, you know I get by with very little. You're not angry that I'm coming with you, I hope.
On the contrary, I'm thrilled that both you and Sir de Corsilion are joining our party. A few friends at your side in unknown territory is a boon.
Ah, so the old goat is coming too. And there I was thinking I would die of boredom on the trip. By the way, where is our future governor hiding? I was hoping to put his skills to the test as well.
I have no idea. He had plans to celebrate his departure last night, and we haven't seen him since. You know Constantine. I should have gone with him, but my heart wasn't in the mood for celebration. The thought of bidding my mother farewell.
It is never easy to say goodbye. But you should be going to see her now. She must be waiting for you. I'll meet you in front of the palace. Then we'll go and find Constantine together.
Very well. I'll meet you as soon as I've said my goodbyes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, combat's not bad. Movement's pretty decent as well.
What is this? Have you not been taught to knock? I've asked 1,000 times. Oh, it's you, my dear child.
Mother, I'm sorry. I'm having trouble getting used to your condition.
Come now, let's speak of more pleasant things. I'm so very happy to hear your voice. You remind me so much of your father. I do miss him so. Today is the big day, isn't it? Ready to set sail for that island everyone's talking about.
Yes, but the idea of leaving you behind, alone and ill...
Dying, my child. Alas, there is nothing you can do by staying that would ease my suffering. One thing brings me cheer. They say the island is full of miracles, and we might find a cure.
Even if I were to find it, I would never be able to return in time to...
I know. But it brings me comfort that to know my son has left on a mission to heal his people. Come now. It is time for you to take leave. Here. Take this with you.
What is it?
A family heirloom. Something that... Take it and keep it with you. May it bring you good luck. All my blessings go with you, my child. Now, be off.
Okay, so menu's a little funky. Come on now. Okay, use the triggers to go through those. So you've got a primary and a secondary. Firearms. Whoops. We can have capes. At the moment, no capes. Well, doesn't that look fancy? And armor appears to have set effects as well. Loot chance plus 25%. Cool. Well then. We can go talk to Kurt, or... Ooh. Okay, the world looks cool. Can't argue that. I like it. Let's go explore. Yeah, we're supposed to be in a hurry, but... Alright, I'm gonna adjust my settings here real quick. Is that enough? Yeah, it's a bit better. Hello, NPC. What do you have to say? Oh, you're an enemy. Hello. Not sure what the light does, it just sort of makes me twitch out. A little framey. Let's mess with those settings a little bit more. Looks like I just didn't put it in the last time. That is significantly more smooth. Oop, was that a path over here? Around the barrels. Pine resin. It's just like Dark Souls. Magic's overpowered. There's pine resin. You have parrying. Makes sense.
It's done.
Sorry, Greenblood. Look, we can see the masts of the ship that'll be taking us. This is one sacred adventure we're embarking on.
I hope this island will keep its promises.
In order to know that, we'll need to find Constantine first.
You're right. Maybe he's already at the port. He was so eager to leave.
This will be quite the chore to finish before our departure. The commander wants to recover some merchandise from our supplier, but the transporter doesn't want to deliver. I did all I could to persuade. Nothing came of it. All the parliamenting fatigues me. But this is your domain. I wouldn't say no to a little help.
Of course. Where is the supplier?
In the lower boroughs, near the port.
Right then. We'll put it on our list of visits.
Okay, so we have a team member. Kurt is a melee combat master and can wear heavy armors. If he's a combat master, why is he letting his sword get rusty? I'm just throwing that out there.
I've been asked to pay visits to the ambassadors of Thélème and the Bridge Alliance before our departure. Their dwellings are not far from here. We could go there first.
Very well. You think Constantine will be
Rats.
next to the ship?
I don't know, but it's certainly worthy of inspection.
Yes, plague looks like bad times. Let's go this way.
Sire, I'm sorry. I'm afraid that I won't make for good company.
Yeah, these people have seen some better days. I feel like this is an enemy. Let's go get that one last one over there. Hey, you don't see me, that's right. Okay, cool. So we do have stealth attacks. Back it up, Kurt. And the NPCs are surprisingly responsive to getting out of the way. That's a good thing. That's something that a lot of developers end up just screwing up. Stealing from the less fortunate. Because I'm rich and I do what I want. Sounds about right, doesn't it? Political commentary. Shh. Who are you?
Good day, Excellency.
Sir de Sade, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I have come to inform you that my cousin Constantine and I are departing for Tirfredi on the hour.
Ah, yes. I did indeed hear talk that you had both received callings of greater stature. Allow me to congratulate you. Were you not named legate of the congregation?
You are correct, Excellency. I thank you.
It is a station of great honor that I am sure you will fill with brio and panache. The Mother Cardinal Cornelia will be enchanted to work with you, and your cousin in the future. I only regret that your departure is so sudden.
Really?
To be entirely honest with you, I was hoping to solicit your help in a rather delicate matter.
Tell me more about it, and perhaps I can take care of your problem before my departure.
Very well. A small group of dangerous heretics has found refuge in Serene. We know that your uncle tolerates the presence of all pagans within the city walls. But these particular non-believers threaten the fragile harmony of this place. We would consider it a tremendous favor if you would arrest them and deliver them to our guard.
Heresy is not a crime in Serene. You do know that. But I'm sure my uncle would hear your arguments. Why call on my intervention?
The prince would indeed give us his blessing, but it would take time. Far too much time. For according to our sources, these fugitives have already made contact with a smuggler to take them who knows where.
I see.
So they're not trying to stay. What's the
You're
problem?
hoping that I'll be able to do something before they make it to an enemy city. If your heretics are planning on boarding a ship, then they must be in the dockyards. I'll look into this and see what I can do.
I don't see the problem about it. Like, they're not trying to stay here. They're trying to go to an enemy city. They're heretics, so you don't like them. What's the problem with them just getting gone?
What's your point of view on the relations between our two nations?
As ambassador of Thélème, I can only rejoice at the mention of our commercial treaties. We appreciate as well the welcome that your uncle gave to our missionaries. Thanks to your support, more and more believers wander your lands. The congregation is our most precious ally. To be perfectly honest, we have only two complaints. That heresy is tolerated, and that your treaties with the Bridge Alliance are maintained.
Interesting.
How goes the conflict with the Bridge Alliance?
Your territory is, alas, the only one that has been spared from the ravages of war on the continent. We fight on every front. Without great success, one must say. But what other choice do we have? These so-called savants not only refuse the light, but are determined in their fight against it.
And on Tirfredi?
To my knowledge, no one has yet seen any serious fighting. The Bridge have succeeded in provoking the natives there, and have their hands full keeping them at bay. Which leaves us greater latitude to settle peacefully and pursue our mission of conversion.
How is Thélème faring on Tirfredi?
We built a marvelous city, San Mateus, on the western coast of the island. Did you know that certain historians believe that it might well have been the final resting place of our prophet? Our missionaries there are a multitude. Not a day passes without new islanders joining our sacred faith. Of course, there are certain pockets of resistance. There is talk of a demonic cult. Disgusting creatures.
but I am confident that the Ordo Luminous will be able to put an end to these horrors. And we have tremendous hopes that the entire native population will join our ranks.
Well,
I must be going.
lore bits.
Farewell, Excellency.
Very interesting.
May the light guide you, Desade.
Can we go upstairs? No?
Greetings, Your Excellency.
Ooh. Obvious trap is obvious, but hey. Maybe not. I think I see a glowy thing on the other side. Could be a fire, could be loot, can't quite make it out. Let's find our way to that, and that's where we'll end this episode. Excuse me. It is, in fact, loot. Alright. How do I save this game? Yes, when I did the initial testing. Alright, we'll oversave that. Alright. Well, that's that. So, thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you have enjoyed this. I'm going to give it another couple episodes, make sure I'm actually enjoying it. So far, so good. No major complaints. We'll see how the game feels when it gets into some actual combat, see how the story grabs hold of us, and we'll take it from there. Either way, I'll see you guys next time.